Happy Saturday, everybody. This is my first Saturday podcast. But this Saturday is super, super special to me. I'm like a kid at Christmas. Today, my baby is being delivered. Yes, I've worked on this project for 9 months, and today is the delivery day. I'm so excited to be joined today by two fearless females. I have Cassandra Cummings from Stocks and Stilettos. I have the wonderful Belinda Baker from Atlanta, Georgia. So let me tell you a few things about these ladies. This podcast is special to me, number one, for a number of reasons, but number one, because Belinda Baker is my mentor. She's the person who created this Bossy Rossi. Blame it on her. It's her fault. She created Bossy Rossi. I met Belinda 15 years ago. 15 years ago through Design Essentials, and I worked for her. And she really, really showed me what leadership looked like from the inside out. She really did. She showed me what it looked like. And she showed me that as a leader, leaders have to be willing to serve. And you can't ask your team or your teammates to do anything that you aren't willing to do. So, i.e., if you don't want to clean the toilet, you can't be asking them to do that, right?
That's right.
And that's what teamwork was about. And she showed me the epitome of leadership. And I just thank her so much for that. So anytime anyone compliments me on my leadership skills, my administrative skills, courtesy of you, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I wanted to introduce everybody. I want everybody to know that mentors are important. They shape who we are. They really shape who we are. And this powerhouse sitting next to me, Cassandra Cummings. You know, finances, y'all always hear me say finances is the area that I lack in. I pay my bills. That is not a problem. But I love to spend. I love to have a good time. But I have an opportunity to work with Cassandra through Stocks and Stilettos and really invest and do something different. I joined Stocks and Stilettos in June, right before my 40th birthday, because I'm like, I got to do something different in 40. You know, if I plan on retiring and doing something different, I want to make my money multiply. And I'm so excited that Cassandra is here this weekend to tell everybody about how to make money, manage your money, and multiply your money. So today's topic is expect the unexpected. I expect the unexpected this weekend. It's supernatural to take place. This event this weekend is bigger than me. It's a big, big deal. It's a big event because God is all over this event. You want to know why I know? Because I've had so many detours, roadblocks, and obstacles that I don't highlight often. But I know that, guess what? He always fills in the gaps. So I know that it's going to be crazy. That's all I got to say. Next week's podcast is going to be crazy. But I want to talk to these women and pick their brains and just see how you feeling, Belinda.
I am feeling wonderful.
Are
wonderful. You know, we were talking earlier about I came with an expected spirit to collide up with purpose this weekend, and I already feel it in the air. And when you were talking about some of the obstacles, I was like, that just proves that what's here is big, is huge. I can't wait.
Cassandra.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to be here. I mean, with finances, there's always something unexpected that can happen. And so you have to be prepared at all costs for what's to come your way. So I'm really excited to be here this weekend to share what I know with the ladies.
So how did you start Stocks and Stilettos?
So I started Stocks and Stilettos after I started my own business. I left Merrill Lynch back in 2015, and I started my own investment advisory firm. And from there, I realized once coming out of Merrill that all of my clients were sort of like white people. They didn't really look like me. And so I really wanted to provide a space for women that looked like me to really learn the game. And so that's how Stocks and Stilettos was born.
So 2015.
I started it midway through 2016.
Okay.
But yeah, that concept, I was sort of toying around with, what direction to go in, how to reach the masses. And so 2016 it was born.
So it's birthed in 2016. How's your journey been? Like, have you had any obstacles?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because a lot of times I like to highlight the challenges and obstacles because we make it look so good.
Yes.
And not being negative, but letting people know that obstacles and challenges are normal.
Right.
They are normal.
Yeah. I was a solopreneur.
Okay.
So for the longest, I did a lot of the work for, myself. So I had to learn a lot about social media. I had to learn about how to set things up online. So the learning curve was really steep. Branding was huge. So I took a lot of classes. I actually had mentors to help accelerate that process. And so that's what helped to push Stocks and Stilettos as far as it's gone so far, as fast as it's gone so far.
Because you definitely have a strong social media presence.
Yes.
And it's very engaging.
Yes.
And that's what people don't understand about social media. It's one thing to have a lot of followers. That's great. But when people are really commenting on your posts, asking questions, want to know more, that shows that what you have, people are really interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And you have really great engagement. I love your questions.
Yes.
I love your true or false. I love your facts. You know, you always giving out great content, you know, information that people can really use.
Yes.
So, Miss Belinda,
Yes.
you've been in the hair industry for how long?
Oh, goodness. I have been in the hair industry 33 years. I am still 27, though.
Okay.
Yes. But I feel that the journey for me in the hair industry, the beauty industry, was just a stepping stone into my ministry of being able to work with people, connect with people, help develop concepts and things of that. And interestingly, the topic that I'm speaking on, balance. How do you balance all of these different facets that as women in particular, we find ourselves being a part of? Family, career, self, our faith, our finances. How do we find that and juggle all of that and keep the chaos down to what I call a quiet, peaceful state? And that's what we're going to be talking about this weekend.
And I chose balance for Belinda because a lot of times I get a lot of questions in my DM, in my message box. You know, how do you balance it all? How do you go to everybody's birthday party, attend these weddings, travel, go to work for real every day, love on your kids, and even hang out with your girlfriends? And Belinda taught me a lot about balance. And she taught me a lot about balance because Belinda, when I met her, she traveled at least 40 to 45 weeks out of the year. Like every week she was catching a flight. But she was always happy. She was always nice. She would always be on the phone with her babies. Yes, baby, mommy loves you. Yes. And I noticed that that's what mattered. Even though she was away, still connecting with them and making them know that they're loved and they're missed and I care. And in the midst of the show, if she needed to walk off and kind of glide off, she let us handle it, and she can handle her family on the sideline. So knowing that when they call, my babies are a priority. And I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot from her in that regard. So leadership was one thing, but how to juggle it. And that's how you juggle it.
Yeah.
And then now, Belinda is now taking care of her mother. She was taking care of her mother and her father. I'm taking care of my grandmother. But again, our lives are so parallel.
Yes.
But making it all mesh.
Yes. Yes.
Managing it all, you know?
Yes.
Being there for everybody, but still having your sanity.
Yes. Yes. I think a big part of that is understanding that we have values, and those values we gained early in life. You know, those are the things that are important to us. No matter what, the values are the first thing that comes to mind. It's what helps us instinctively make the decisions that we make, which was why family was so important to me. Even being away from them, family is still important to me. It just shifted now that my children are grown. Now my parents are now my parent child, and so we just shift along with that. And understanding those values, I didn't get it, you know, until later, that those values was what was governing me. But being true to that, finding my own voice, bringing my voice to the table, aligning up with the truths of who you are, making sure that you understand that no is a powerful word, because you can't be all to everyone, and to learn how to only carry what belongs to you. So that if you're not carrying a lot of baggage from other places and other things, you can now devote to those things that are most important and true to you.
Facts. Isn't she amazing?
Facts.
That's true, though. That is true. We really have to figure out what's important to us. And you know, I always tell people, we make time for what's important for us.
Yes, we do.
So when people say, I don't have time for that, it's not important to you. We don't want to make time for it because we talked about it. What's the currency? Time is a currency, right?
That's right.
And so we use
That's
it wisely. So we don't spend our time all kinds of places.
That's right.
We spend time where it matters the most, you
Yeah.
know? And so, you know, you just have to be a better steward of your resources. Not just your money, your time,
That's right.
your talents, and your treasures.
That's right.
But let's talk about this money resource.
Yes.
What are some tips that you have? What are some tips you have for our podcast listeners?
I would say get started if you haven't gotten started. Don't beat yourself up if you haven't gotten started. There's always time. There's always time to make an impact in your money. And, I always say get a money mentor. Get a money mentor. If you are, having difficulties trying to figure out which direction to go with your money, is there someone that you look up to who looks like they may have it together, polished and so forth? Have a conversation with them. Hey, I'm looking to, accelerate my finances or do something a little different, maybe invest in a property. How do I go about doing this? And that's how you sort of accelerate or catch up, close the gap with your finances. So that's one tip I have.
I love what you said. Just basically, just do it.
Just do it.
So many times we overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have did it 10 years ago. Time is gone.
Yeah.
We can't. We
Can't
go
get that back.
But let's focus on the now. But so
Right.
many times we always say we wish we would have done something differently, and we wasted another 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wishing something was different, and it's not. And I think people are just scared of stocks. This is so unknown.
Yes.
I think that's what even for myself, that was my apprehension. The unknown. Like, I don't know about that. I mean, it's so many. Let's say that.
Yeah.
So how do you pick?
Yes.
And that's what I love about Stocks and Stilettos. That's what I love. We get on a call and we have 3 or 4 stocks to choose from. They're presented in a way. So now somebody has done research for you. Now you have your turn to do your research.
Right.
But each month it's a different person presenting 3 or 4 stocks.
Yeah.
And we literally just vetting it.
Right.
And it's a discussion.
Yes.
So even if you don't have any key elements to add to the discussion, but now you're listening. So now you know what to look for.
Yeah.
So I should be looking for, are these people on the news? That matters.
Yes.
Did they just merge? Did they just sell? Did
Right.
they just buy? And so even if you don't know that at first, we hear the conversation that's taking place, but you got to be willing to listen. You got to be an active listener.
Yes.
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 That's the key.
Yes.
And so when you're an active listener, it's like next time you get on the call, now you're prepared to receive the information, and now you can actually engage.
Yes,
in the
yes.
conversation.
It changes the dynamic
It
of the
changes the dynamic.
conversation
It
if
does.
you can participate and have an intelligent conversation. Now you have a seat at the table. And so just a case in point, I had a lady join Stocks and Stilettos a little over a year ago. And, she was at the same place. Like, I need to get started. I'm in my 40s. I've been presented with a couple of layoff notices at my job. And so this job isn't guaranteed. I need to really get in control of my finances. Joined Stocks and Stilettos, started absorbing and just soaking up all of the information. And now she's able to teach classes on trading.
Wow.
And she can go to these local meetups with these white men and hold her own in these meetup groups. And they're like, where did you learn that from? So talk about powerful impact. Yes. Stocks and Stilettos is doing it.
I mean, it's amazing because it's funny on the call sometimes. Cassandra and I bump heads.
Yes,
Like,
we do.
I'm gonna give you an example.
Yeah, we do.
And we bump heads. But the funny thing about it is, she is the expert,
Yes.
and I'm still like, I still feel how I feel, and
Yes.
I'm wrong or right. And then she'll say, "Okay, we can do that this time."
Yeah.
And I'm shocked when I got the call. I'm like, "She listened to me." Like, I literally, we talk about Tesla. That's a stock. Let's talk about that.
Tesla.
She was super excited about Tesla, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because I was like, I'm passionate about it. I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to share my opinion. And it ended up going in my favor. But I'm thinking to myself, and she know way more about stocks than me. But it's a conversation.
Yes.
And it made me feel empowered, though.
Yes.
It did. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I have a seat at this table, and my opinion counts.
Absolutely.
It counts. Because
Yes.
I got the phone like, wow, okay. I was really blown away when I got that call.
Right.
But I want to talk about stocks a little bit more in this regard. This morning, it's so funny. Right before we came, my cousin was talking about, I was like, we have this amazing lady, Cassandra Cummings from Stocks and Stilettos. And we were talking about finance. And she was like, Keitha, I'm going to buy some property in a couple of years. I'm just trying to, get some debt down and get some things together. She was like, but would you do stocks or would you do investment property? I said, to each his own, long as you're investing in something. I say, but I will tell you this. While you're waiting those 2 years, you can be sowing a seed in stocks right now.
Yes.
That's the deal.
Yeah.
If we think one thing about a home or land or things like that, that's a larger purchase. All you need is $100.
Yeah.
And really, if you do some penny stocks, you need less than that. But the bottom line is the investment is so low.
Yes.
To enter the game is so low. So
Yeah.
why are we entering the game?
Right. The barrier to entry is so low now. It is really, there's no excuse why you shouldn't be in the game. And more wealth, believe it or not, is built in the stock market than in the real estate market. Black people are more drawn to real estate because it's tangible. They can drive up, they can put the key in the door.
Yeah, right.
Stocks is a little off-putting because they're not really sure. It's abstract, these numbers, these charts. What the hell is going on, right? And so, but what we'll see this year, which is going to be quite interesting, is that we have a lot of companies that are getting ready to go public that are very popular. Uber, Lyft, Slack, Pinterest, Levi's just went public for the second time. And so what's going to happen is that it's going to create a significant amount of wealth for the people who are involved in these companies, and they're going to start to shift that money to the real estate market. So they start in the stock market, then they shift it to the real estate market. And that's typically how wealth is built in the white communities.
Learn something new every day.
Every day.
Every day. But, you know, the barrier entry being so easy.
Yes.
You know, that is the key. It's like, you plan on buying a house in 2 years, but you can do the stock right now. You know,
Yes.
right now. Like, quit putting it off. And $100, and then when you get better at it, then 1,000. Because it's all about your comfort level. That's another thing.
Yeah.
The more we play with it, the more we understand the dynamics of it, the rules of engagement. What are you willing to lose?
It's
you know,
that fear. It's
Yeah,
that fear of
yeah.
losing that stops people from getting in the game. You have to get in the game. Are you going to lose? Yeah. And you're going to learn how not to do that again, right? How not to pick that company, how, you know, what things to look out for when evaluating a stock. And so that's going to be critical. But again, you can't be a sideline sister. You got to get in the game.
Sideline
That's
sister.
right. You got to learn the game.
Let's talk about this. You know, the fear.
Yes.
The fear is what it is. The fear of losing. But you
Keeps
losing
you
anyway.
from gaining. Keeps you
You're
from
losing anyway because you lose an
Absolutely.
opportunity to gain.
And time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're losing anyway because, you know, if your girlfriend is investing and you like find out 5 years from now she made $50,000 off the stock, you lost $50,000.
Right.
Because y'all could have been talking and buying stock together.
Absolutely.
So you still lost.
Mhm.
Oh, but you feel like because you didn't put anything in it, no,
Right.
you lost because you could have been $50,000 richer.
Yeah.
And not necessarily that's everybody's case and scenario is the amount of money, but we have to take those risks, you guys.
Yeah.
Whether it's stocks, whether it's going back to school, you know, scared like, you know, do I have enough time? Am I smart enough? Yes.
Absolutely.
You have enough.
And you have people available to you. You have access to people. If you don't know, you have access to people that do know.
Yeah, true. And I mean, this World Wide Web
Yes.
has so much information.
The interwebs.
Yeah, it's so much information. Like the knowledge is out there. You just have to, the information is out there. You have to go just find it.
Yes.
You have to be willing to seek. Seek it and you shall find it.
Yes.
But you have to be willing to do a little work. Not
That's
much,
right.
just a little work.
That's right.
So, Miss Belinda,
Yes.
what are you afraid of?
You know, Cassandra and I were just talking just a little while ago, and where I am in life now, is I want to get off the sideline of saying what I'm going to do, and I want to be a doer in those things. So the first thing for me was letting go, and believe it or not, Miss B that has been out there, you know, to the top, to the bottom, and anywhere in between. Part of the fear for me was just not being positioned to get everything out of me that God purposed out of my life. I'm afraid of that. But that fear of not doing has motivated me to say, you know what? Step out. Make it happen. The worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't work out. But at least I tried. At least I gave it my all. So I've gone back and I've taken a look at what's important to me. What have I not done that I said I want to do? I've gone back and looked at plans. You know, those plans, scribble papers. I keep a lot of stuff. And when I look back, it's a lot of things that lined up, but I kind of let slide. So now I'm coming back in and saying, okay, God, I'm going to trust you with everything I got. And when I say everything I got. And I'm taking the biggest risk ever building out my salon including the Hair Loss and Restoration Center, changing even the dynamics of what used to be. Because one of the things I think that once you've been in the industry for a while, you become status quo. And the status quo is one of the worst things I think you can ever do, because you become complacent. It worked, so let's just keep on going. The problem with that is that you miss out on those changes that are happening all around you because you put blinders on. So my thing is, I don't want my blinders to stop me from being all that God has called me to be. Touching those people that I have an assignment to touch, because I'm comfortable. So I'm going to shake it up. Make myself uncomfortable in order to get the most out of me. So my greatest fear, Nikita, is that I do not live up to the full potential that God put inside of me from day one, because I've become complacent.
And when you talk about comfort levels and complacency, I just keep thinking about good is the enemy of great.
Yes.
Good is the enemy of great. And so many times we're doing good and we're feeling fine, but we're not reaching our level of excellence,
Yes.
our level of greatness,
Yes.
because we're so content with good. And greatness and excellence require sometimes for you to be fearless.
Absolutely.
It does require that,
Absolutely.
because to take it to the next step, that means we got to get outside our comfort zone.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
we got to do something that's bigger than us sometimes.
That's right.
And so that's what you're basically saying.
Yes.
You're afraid of not being as big as you're supposed to be.
Yes.
As big as God set out for you to be, you know?
That's
Because
right.
He set out for some of us to do some major things. And some of us have to do different things to others because the platform,
Yes.
a person like yourself with a platform who was able to travel to 40 different cities throughout the year, your platform was too big for you to play it small.
Yeah.
Can't
Way
play
too
small.
big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everybody don't have that platform.
No.
I'm just being honest. And I.e. yourself, with the platform that you have, you know, with 8,000 Facebook followers and a community of people all over the, you know,
Yeah.
all over America. So we can't play it small.
Can't play it small.
Because too many people count on us,
That's
you
right.
know? So for us to be content with great,
Yeah.
I mean, with good,
Yeah. It's not enough.
it's not enough.
It's
It
not
is not enough. So no, that is a real fear.
Yeah.
I'm over here listening to you. I'm like, well, is that my fear too?
I was like, yeah, I kind of
I'm like,
a little bit too.
right? That, because I'll think about it. You know, what am I afraid of? And when I say what I'm afraid of, it sounds crazy because it can go twofold. I'm afraid to fail, but I always try stuff, right? But because I'm so afraid to fail, my fear of failure is so high. Whenever I do something, I do it wholeheartedly and I'm pushing. And even when I
Yes.
see that it's not working, I'm always realigning, recalibrating, trying to figure out,
That's it.
no, this got to work.
Right.
So the first sign of defeat, I'm like, nah, I'm always trying to figure 2 or 3 ways before I say, okay, all right, maybe it didn't work. But I don't give up at the first try because I don't want to fail.
Right.
I want to keep pushing and keep
Right.
going, and I want to go hard.
Right.
Yes.
So when it doesn't work, I can't say this.
Right.
Because everything doesn't work. It doesn't.
No.
That's just the truth.
No.
But I gave it all I had.
Yeah, you got to do it afraid, and you got to fail fast. And if you fail fast, then you take those lessons, and then you retool, recalibrate, like you said, and then you come back harder, right? Because now you've learned those lessons and what not to do. And so that's what we learn in the industry.
That's
So it's just
true.
shifting that mindset.
That is. That is. And Nikita, piggybacking off of what you said, for me, my faith and my understanding what the word says, that all things are possible through Christ Jesus for those who believe, who crazy enough just to believe. But that's not enough. We got to put the action behind
Faith
the
plus
words.
works.
Yes.
Faith plus work. Faith plus work. And when you're talking about this spiritual component, my girlfriend asked me the other day, we talked about, we love that Michelle Obama becoming book. We love it.
Yes.
And her transparency made us fall in love with her all over again.
Yes.
It's like one thing when you love Michelle Obama, but after reading Becoming, now you're in love, right? Because it's layers to it.
Yeah.
Now you really know her vulnerabilities, how she felt. And so my girlfriend was like, Nikita, people need to see a different layer of you. They see you as happy, jovial, always positive. I'm like, but that's me. That's just me. I have dark moments, I do, but those moments are so brief.
Yes.
I can't stay there long. I just can't. And I say, when I get to those moments where it's dark, where I'm ready for my eyes to water up and start crying, I know that I don't have anything left in me. I give it to God. I really, really do. I was trying to figure it out for 2 or 3 weeks on my own. Is this going to work? Can I just do that? And when nothing's working, I just give it to God. And it may sound so cliche, But they're like worrying about it, stressing about it, has not resolved anything in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going cuckoo. I'm going crazy. You know, I'm trying to keep smiling through, and I'm tired. God, I surrender. But when you really surrender and let go,
Let go. And
like
let
really,
God.
really, really let go.
That's right.
Like when I say things like, I'm going to really sleep hard tonight. Like I'm not going to wake up at every 2 hours anxious and worried.
Right.
When I literally let go and say, I'm going to really give it to God tonight, I sleep so good.
Yes. Yes.
And I wake up and I'm like, you know what, he working
Yes.
it out.
Yes. That's that peace. That's that peace that God will give you in the midst of the storm. That's that peace. But it's because you're connected to your faith walk, and your faith walk is strong. When your faith walk is strong, you can rely. You can put all your weight on it, all of it. That's what you're doing when you're sleeping. You put all your weight on it, and you said, "Okay, God, I'm done. Let me back out." You take it, and then in that moment, you give Him the right. See, God is a God. You don't want me preaching up in here, right?
You got to save it for
Okay.
the people. You got to save it for the people. You can drop a jewel or a gem, but you got to say something for the people on Monday, okay? So, Cassandra, what are you looking forward to? What is your big theme for 2019?
Big thing for 2019. My theme is New Year, New Money.
New Year, new money.
New Year, New Money. And what I want is for women who come into the society to really understand what that means. I want to see other people win. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I want to see other women get exposure. I want other women winning financially. I want other women having a financial transformation. So that's what New Year, New Money in 2019 is all about. It's not about me. It's about the women who come into the
Bring
society.
them along with you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I always say, you know, it's fun, you know, climbing that ladder and conquering those goals. It's fun doing it alone, but it's even better when you got other people to share that journey with you, right?
Yes, right.
It's so much better. It's better when you have people to share that moment with you, or that
Yes.
journey, or that success story
Right.
with you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I have another question for you.
Okay.
You know, you talk about New Year, new money. Do you have any big events coming up? Or how does a person join Stocks and Stilettos? You know, how do they become involved in this society?
Yeah, so the Stocks and Stilettos Society, we're on Instagram. We have about 11,000 followers there. We also have a very engaged Facebook community where we have close to 18,000 members in the society on Facebook. So Stocks and Stilettos is our handle, and then we have a big conference coming up. Well, it's not so big, but a big conference coming up in October. October 3rd through the 5th, and then we have a group of ladies that will be coming together next month in April for our spring fling that we'll do out on the West Coast, where we will do a tour of San Francisco, and then we'll hit up some of the beautiful wineries in Napa. So that's our spring fling event coming up. So yeah,
a lot of things popping. Come on, we got spring and fall.
Spring and fall.
So Miss B, what do you have coming along this year?
Well,
the new expansion of your
new expansion. Really focusing in on the fact that hair loss is an epidemic.
Yes. Please grow my hair out.
Okay.
Not out. Not the areas. Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you come up with that solution, I promise you're gonna be rich. You ain't gonna invest in nothing.
Well, you know what?
Because I'm
But
serious.
it's an investment in
serious.
yourself, in that skill
is,
set.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
But
That's
it's an
it.
epidemic.
Yeah.
For real. That's
For
a whole
real.
other podcast. But go and give us some of that.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it has no boundaries to it. And so we're planning that expansion. Now we're actually in the midst of it. Mid-April, we should be open for business. So praise God. We made it through a build out.
Congratulations.
The salon is still doing quite well. We are at the Decatur location. We did end up shifting from Alpharetta back to the Decatur campus there. And my biggest thing is just helping women level up to a new higher heights, just in self-improvement. And so we're doing the glam sessions at our salon, which give back to our customers information on how to empower themselves and move forward. So we do that seasonally each season.
I had opportunity to do
Yes,
glam
you did.
session. I did the holiday
You
session.
did the holiday.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're still talking about you.
Good. And I mean, you know, just sharing information about how to do holiday makeup, holiday hair, but it was just good. And I learned a lot. I'll tell you this too. You know, I don't care what kind of business you're in. always have friends in the industry because you learn, you learn the operation.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily copying and all that craziness. If y'all friends, it's not copying.
That's right.
But you come in and you
Sharing
pull the
is
nuggets.
caring.
And sharing is caring. You
Yes.
pull the nuggets and you plug that in your business. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You don't want to do everything like your cohort or whatever, but I learned a lot that weekend, seriously, from you guys. I know during a storm one time, Hurricane Rita, one of the storms, we didn't have power. So I was displaced for work. And I worked at True Perfections Hair Studios. Hey, Kay Simpson. I worked there for a week. When I say it was an amazing experience, it was an amazing experience because I was able to work with them, work with their team, see how they do things, see how they flow. And I was like, I need to do this annually. Just get outside of your space, being complacent.
That's right.
The way you do things, and seeing how other people operate and function. And it's working for them, you know?
Yes.
Being open, I think that's the key to success.
Absolutely.
Being open to new ideas, stocks and stilettos. Being open to change, because change is inevitable. You've been in the industry 33 years. So you saw a lot of changes take place.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you started out with the curls. And wave new, I mean, seriously.
Yes. Yes.
That reminds
The
me, I
curl
have
is
my
big.
Jerry curl.
No, and look out now. And look at now,
and it's
like.
weaves,
Yes.
wigs, the back
But
wigs.
but go back to the 70s, how it was all about froze, and froze
Right.
came back.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
afros and natural hair
Right.
came back.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
these
yeah.
trends, these changes, but you have to be able to
Right.
change and shift with it.
Yes.
Because you'll be in the Left Behind series.
Yes.
Right.
You'll be in the Left
Yes.
Behind series.
Yes.
But thank you, ladies, so much
Thank you for
for
having us.
sharing.
It was so much fun.
Sharing nuggets with us today. It's gonna be a fearless next few days. I'm so excited about having Miss Belinda Baker here, Cassandra Cummings, Tracy Robinson doing body, Helena Collins doing your basics. I also have Chloe Cook doing branding, Kyra Hardwick for business, and I want to make sure I have my good friend Candace Easley doing Battlefield. It's going to be an amazing weekend. Thank you, the Kyra Company, for being a title sponsor. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, Aria Daffy, Keisha Creations, and all of my bronze level sponsors. You guys made this thing possible. I'm telling you, we would have been at the La Quinta Inn without your sponsorship. So, thanks God for you guys. We at the Marriott Waterway Resort. So it's on and popping. I'm Nikita Ross. Have a great weekend.